just being aware, like that could actually just be a pattern. And we actually have the power to change that pattern. And so slowing down, think about when you slow down, you say, wait a second, I only have 15 minutes. What's the most important thing to do?
Welcome to the Lara Jane Layton Show. This podcast is for you, the person who keeps putting others first. Your self-talk has held you back. You no longer need to take a second seat. Let's explore ways to overcome self-doubt. You can silence that inner bully voice and achieve your full potential. Here's your host, Lara Jane.
Welcome to the show, friend. My new best friend, Christina, is here with us today, and we have a treat for you. We are going to talk about slowing down. Now, don't panic. Did you know you can slow down a little bit and still be as successful and brilliant and amazing as you are? It's like we think that going at 100 miles an hour forever is what makes us successful. But there's more to it than that, and Christina's going to help us with it. But before we get started, we're going to get a quick word from our sponsor. When we come back, Christina's going to help us to slow down. We'll be right back.
This is Adam Adams, co-founder of Optimized LLC, where we take the guesswork out of your health. If you're feeling exhausted, struggling with weight, or just not feeling yourself anymore, your hormones might be the problem. And that's why we test, not guess, analyzing your blood work to pinpoint exactly what's holding you back. At Optimized LLC, we help you rebalance your hormones, boost energy, and reclaim your life. Don't settle for normal. Aim for optimized. Just go to optimized.com to book your free introductory coaching call. It's a free call to help you take the first step toward feeling your best.
All right, Christina, the information about using the show notes. So help us stay on this drive of success, yet not let it overpower everything we do and let us slow down a little bit. Do you think you can help us?
I can help you.
Yay!
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it is so hard to slow down because we think if we slow down, like everything else is just going to fall off and then what's going to happen? We have this speed that everything is managed and we're juggling all the balls and it's working, it's working, it's working and everything's just going to fall apart if we slow down, but it's quite the opposite. It's just like when you take a deep breath and allow things to just calm down for a moment. And what I like to tell women and mothers or just, people that are juggling a lot, all of us out there, is that we have this internal compass. And when we actually take a moment to listen to it, it actually can guide us and give us answers that are not outside of us. So that's actually where I want to go, is that choices and clarity and what we should do and how to make faster choices and executive choices, even in the household or at work or whatever it might be, they come to us much quicker and sharper and faster. And we don't need to do sometimes all the little things that we think we need to do. But all that noise sometimes makes us think we need to do everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise out there. And I was raised in a society that said, be busy makes you look like success. Hey, wait, you sat down, stand back up, get busy again. And, it's kind of, I had a friend and she's like, I don't know what to do. And her husband said, well, you wash the windows. She went, that's not what I meant. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
I know the windows could be washed, but that wasn't the feeling. So sometimes the external people just aren't tuned into what that real feeling is that we're experiencing of, I've got so much on my plate. How do I pick what to do next and still slow down?
Yeah, I was raised that way too. It's like busy, 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 busy. And in so many ways, I mean, that is praised and that is the definition so many times of success. And we look busy. And, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing right now? I'm doing something. I'm cleaning out a drawer. I'm doing this, but am I even really effective? Right. And one thing that I think is so important to know about slowing down is to just know this awareness is that our mind is conditioned to just keep doing what's familiar. It's not necessarily what's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just what's familiar. So if staying busy, 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 and we've been praised for it and said, wow, you're such a good worker bee, or you're such a good, you're always doing something, you're so productive, or you're always the one we can count on. And that's sort of been familiar to us, doesn't mean we're getting more done. It just means we're busy, we're tired, we're frantic. It could mean a lot of things. Even if it's toxic behavior, it's more familiar. And so just being aware, like that could actually just be a pattern. And we actually have the power to change that pattern. And so slowing down, think about when you slow down, you say, wait a second, I only have 15 minutes. What's the most important thing to do? We usually are able to decide and say, I don't need to do these 9 other things. I really only need to do these 2 things when we give ourselves a moment, right?
Yes, sometimes when I think, "Oh, yeah, I just got this one thing. I'll be home in 30 minutes," and it's 2 hours later and I'm still doing that one thing. I was like, "Ah, how come sometimes these simple little things take so long and keep us doing not our top priority things?"
Well, it's so often we do what's familiar and we don't want to do what's unfamiliar. So to change the things that, to change something that's so familiar. So if staying busy and staying like I feel productive being busy, then we're going to feel lazy if we're not busy. We're going to feel like I'm not the one that gets stuff done unless I'm the one standing up in the kitchen, cleaning, wiping off. I remember my mom was always like, if she comes over, she's always like grabbing a broom. She's always wiping off the counters. She's always doing something. Like, mom, just sit down and talk. Well, no, she's always got to be doing something. And my floor doesn't even need to get swept. It doesn't need, my counters don't even need to get wiped off. But to her, in her mind, she's productive. Is she productive? No, she's just busy. So we can ask ourselves, hold on, is this busy, busy really, really more productive? So again, our mind just does what is familiar. So when we have the awareness, we can pause and say, am I really being more familiar? But if we want to create a new pattern, we got to be more aware of it first. And that's what's so cool about being aware is we can say, is this something I'm doing just to be familiar and safe? Or is it actually more, is it just a pattern that I've created? And again, our mind just wants to go to a pattern it's created, not because it's a good one or a right one.
So how did those patterns get created in the first place?
Well, it's a great question. Um, they get created by our mind only wants to keep us safe and it wants to keep us really alive. It wants to keep us alive and safe. So when we're very young, the environment we're grown up in, the school, the society, the community, all the things and the ways that we're raised, when you hear praise for things that you're doing, when you hear, that a boy or that's great or you're so good at that or whatever it might be, I know when you said you were raised to be busy, I know in the corporate world, I was raised, from a young age. The more I did, the more projects I took on. It was like, oh, you're so good at that. Okay, give me more, give me more, give me more. Or at home, if I could bring the orange slices to my kid's soccer game and I could do this and I could do that. And it was like, oh, I get to be super mom and I'm really good at work and I'm really good at this. And then, I can bake a cake too. I can do all these things. Look how great I am. So you start to be the one that people count on and that feels good to feel important and to be someone that people rely on. So the pattern starts way before the behavior. And so the pattern starts when we're really really young because feeling enough is something that makes us feel really safe. So the pattern and getting to the root of the pattern is really important. But to know, I think it's so important to know the pattern is there just to keep us safe, not because it's a good pattern, not because it's a good to always be busy. And so going back to, are we able to slow down? I think it's smart to say, wait a second, this behavior doesn't necessarily make my life better. It's only something that's just familiar. And to say for a second, wait a second, if I actually took 15 minutes and rested or took a bath and excused myself, my family might be okay. They're watching a movie. They might not even know I'm going to go soak my feet for 5, 10 minutes. I'm actually going to take a breather. I'm going to come back more refreshed, and the dishes are still going to be there. I'm going to be fine. They're going to be fine, but I'm going to actually take a break. And that's a new behavior for me, but I'm actually going to, be more rested or be more clear minded. Because we all know when we've hit that limit, when we're just like buzzing and we can't make a right decision to save our lives. So
I used to call it the I'm juggling too many balls moment. It's like I tell my bosses, when I get to the point where I'm juggling too many balls, they all go on the floor and I walk away. I'm just telling you, every one of them. When I come back, I'll be clear-headed enough to pick up the one that counts. It's like you feel like I have to be doing all the time. But sometimes you can get so much going on
you
that
can't.
I gotta put them away from me and then make my decisions. As long as they're juggling in here, I can't.
Yeah. And so much of it has to do with this feeling of control, and I can do it better, and I know how to do it, and I know how to you know do things for my family better than someone else does, or at work I know how to handle those clients better or that situation better. And there's only so much of us where we start to spread ourselves thin. And I think at some point it's so important to say, where are we outsourcing our power to the point where we're not leaving anything else within us? So one of the exercises that I do with my clients who are really, like you say, they're juggling a lot of balls. And what I see them do so often, and I've done it many times too, we start to blame ourselves like, God, I handled that situation. Maybe I dropped the ball. We're saying this a lot. Like I dropped the ball. I didn't handle the 100th ball I'm trying to juggle. Or I'm so tired, but I can't be tired right now. I can't be tired until next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. That I can take a nap then. I can take a nap next weekend. I can't take it until then. We've all been there. Well, I don't have time to be sick. Even though I know I have a flu right now, I can't be sick. But this isn't, we're not machines. We're human, and we have to look at, say, where is control taking over so much that I am outsourcing my power to believing that I'm the only one that can do all these things. Because I like to use the example of when we have these cups within us that it's our responsibility to stay full. And it's this feeling of I am enough and I am safe, and this other this feeling of control. And so often we use that project at work, or is my family this way, or this circumstance this way. And if those things are done, then we feel validated and we feel good and we feel like we did a good job. So we're literally outsourcing our sense of validation, power, smart enough, good mom, good spouse, good partner, good mommy, good whatever, to all these circumstances. Well, how is that exhausting is that? Um, when really our cups should already be full. Those things are great, and I want to be a good mom and wife and all the other things too. But if we're not filling the cup up within, we're in a lot of trouble if we're outsourcing our power on a daily basis. That's going to get pretty exhausting.
Yeah, when you need external things to validate you, yeah, you're stuck.
But we do it. Do it.
Oh, all the time. I did and I still do. There's there's things that it feels good. It's dopamine in my body when someone says, "Oh, you did this good," or, you know, that feels good, but that doesn't mean that that's what makes you good. It's
No.
when do you feel good on your own? How do I self-validate? How do I say, "Hey, Laura Jane, you did good," or "You're good enough"? What if I really, really want to be different and I don't know how, so I don't feel good enough because I'm not that picture different that I'm looking for?
I think a big part of it is start paying attention to how we talk to ourselves, and the words we say to ourselves. I don't think we all realize the way we speak to ourselves, and how kind we are to other people and the sabotaging words we speak to ourselves. So even just if anyone, when you're listening to this, is think about, what do you say to yourself? Like, I can't believe I keep forgetting that, or I'm so bad at that. I never remember those things. Or, these things, our mind listens to every word we say. Our body responds to the words we say. And so, even when we start snapping at our spouse or our kids, or, we all get irritable at moments. And just to say to yourself is, yeah, I'm having one of those days, but I am a patient person. I'm a kind person. And today's a little blip in the road, but tomorrow's going to be a better day. I'm a patient person. Or, when traffic's going to kill me, it's driving me crazy. This is, our body responds to these things. So our mind and body are connected. So the words we say are incredibly powerful and have a huge impact on our reactions and the solutions that we come up with. I mean, top executives, stay-at-home moms, you name it, that I work with will just come to me and say, I don't know why I can't figure this out. I'm smart, I'm educated, I solve problems all the time. Why can't I solve this? And it's as if there's some magic three-step formula. And really it's, well, you know, you're not a machine. Listen to how you're talking to yourself. You don't wake up one day and say, I know how to solve all the world's problems. Let's start with how you speak to yourself. And that alone will start to change things rapidly for them. It's like, I do have good solutions. I have great solutions. Every day, the solutions I have for myself are getting better and more clear and more creative every day. Just saying that to yourself, you start to go, wow, I hadn't thought of that. I'm great at solutions.
Yeah, I'm a total advocate of words because that's why I call it silencing the inner bully. Those words that we
Right.
replay over and over, we bully ourselves more than any playground
Mhm.
bully ever could have. And we get mad at them, but not us. And and I say we as it's natural. It's that thing of you want to be protected, you want to be safe, you want to be part of the team, and we self-doubt. And if we can just change the way we say it, I don't have to, I choose to. I don't
Yeah.
need to, I want to. Where gives you that choice? I choose to do
Shoes
this.
is so big.
And or I am safe. It's what are those things? And I remember when I finally gave up the word sorry, it's like that was such a shameful word. You're a kid and people are going, say sorry. You can't take your own toy back from that person. And it's like, who am I trying to please? We're saying sorry for things that we weren't really sorry for, and it's shameful and it's confusing. And why not walk into the room instead of saying, sorry, I'm late. Thank you for waiting for me, or thank you for starting without me? Take away the shame and
You're
empower
right.
yourself. It's
You're right.
one little tiny word. And if you can focus on the one you're using, like, I'm just being so busy. Okay, change it. I like to be productive. You know,
Yes.
where is that? And so maybe you don't have to be as busy to be productive.
Yeah, and that hustle connection with productivity is a big one. And really, that can be rewired. So many of us were raised with the belief work is hard, there has to be a little hustle, there has to be a little sweat and pain attached to it. I mean, it's everywhere, right? Go big or go home. It's got to be this
No
blood, sweat,
gain without
yeah,
pain.
no gain, no pain. Um, and it was a big one I had to rewire. It's sometimes a family, um they wear it like a badge, like our family really, this is what we come from, right? Hard work and that type of thing. And so if it starts to come easy, I'll see a lot of people sabotage it and start to work late nights or make something feel really hard. It's like, no, 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 hold on.
Yeah.
um, there are plenty of people making life easy and enjoyable, and it doesn't have to be hard. So, what patterns? Let's just be aware of what patterns. I remember when I was in corporate for a long time, 30 years, and moved into this. I remember seeing a lot of the same patterns come up, and I thought, wasn't this interesting? There is no corporate culture in my office here in this new hypnotherapy and coaching world, yet I'm creating the same culture because I'm used to that culture. And I had to be really aware and saying, there is no, there's nobody else to blame. I'm creating this culture all on my own. And I had to really look and say, wait a second, that isn't the culture that I'm going to bring into this new phase in life that I'm creating. Isn't that interesting? I'm making it feel hard because that's what I was used to in that culture. And that it actually can be enjoyable and fun. You can make money and enjoy your life and go have a lunch and come back, and you don't have to come back and feel completely stressed. Um, but a big part of it is knowing that we can rewire things and we can change them, and that it doesn't always have to be that way. And I don't think we all even believe that that's the truth. I think we believe that it's always been that way. And because if you hear people talk, they'll say, "That's just how it is for me and my family." Or there's a big belief, a common belief with a lot of people that, for example, they'll say, "I have love, but money, that's one I struggle with," or "Money, that comes easy, but weight, that's always been one hard for me." Or you kind of say, "I have a lot of the pie, but I don't have all the pie." And that's just a belief, that's not even the truth. So listen to again to the things that we say to ourselves. Like, I have a beautiful family, I have this, I have that, but health, yeah, that's that thing that one's hard for me. It runs in my family, that thing. We just have that. And there's so many people that say, I'm not gonna have that thing that my mom and my family or we always had. I'm ending that. I'm changing that. That's a belief, and I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm ending it. And this is how I'm ending it. I'm changing the actions. I'm changing, I'm gonna wake up every day, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna say different things, and they change it. We can change the trajectory of our behavior and actions, which is pretty amazing.
It's almost you feel like, "Oh, magic pill. All I have to do is talk different." But it does take practice. It's pick the one thing that you're saying to yourself that's the most devastating of, "I don't have enough energy." How do you change that? "I have the energy I need to take care of the most important things on my plate."
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
take care of those things and not all the other things.
Yeah,
So
it isn't just talking to yourself. You're right. You're right. Um, one of the things that I like to have people do, or that I like to do, is, if you're noticing you're in a funk or you're feeling a certain way, and maybe you have to go talk with someone, or you just want to say, how do I snap out of this? This is just the way I've been feeling lately, and I want to feel different or better. Is think of a moment. Let's say you're struggling with confidence, and I'm typically a confident person, and I don't know why I'm not feeling that way. Or I need to go to this a conference and meet people, and I don't want to have to go up to people and talk to strangers. It's going to be awkward. um, I think what's important is we've all had moments where we have felt really confident, and we've all had moments where we have felt not that confident, and our words have fumbled, and we're not making eye contact, and then we felt like rock stars and give me the microphone and I'm good. So the thing is, our we get more of whatever we are feeling. So to take us back to the moment of what we want to feel is just think of a moment where, and you can do this in like five seconds. Think of a moment that you felt confident and happy and excited. You can close your eyes and say, all right, think of a moment in the last couple days where I felt confident or joyful. And it might be petting your dog. It might be opening the door for a stranger and you felt really great about it because they had a bunch of bags in their hands and you just felt like the nicest person. Or, yeah, that moment I said something great at the office or whatever. And let that feeling just drip through and breathe like a breeze blow through you. And you're really embody it. And very quickly you become that emotion and that feeling. It's very quick. And then think about the thing that you wanna do, and you'll be very surprised how quickly you say, "Okay, now I gotta think about that meeting," how differently you can say, "Okay, now it doesn't feel that bad that I gotta go and to that networking event and shake some hands," because 'cause you've allowed yourself to actually embody a different emotion pretty quickly. I do this all the time, and have people do it all the time. It's a great, great little quickie.
That sounds fun. I mean, and when you're talking about those feelings, I'm like, are you reading my brain? No, does everybody think like that? I think sometimes we think we're unique, and sometimes we think that everybody's the same. And it's like, there's a balance. Not everybody's the same, and you're not 100% unique. It's a nice, beautiful balance. You-ness and your oneness. And how do I fit in with everybody else's you-ness and oneness? And I'm just thinking, like, if everybody wanted to be the corporate lawyer, we wouldn't have anybody else in the world, and we have differences for a reason. And
Yeah.
try so hard to be like everybody else. Why not let your difference be that special sauce?
Right, right. And it's interesting that the one common thing about everybody is that we all crave being connected. And we don't think about that though. It's the one common thing we all need to feel connected. And the one thing we don't want to feel is rejected. And with social media, and it's just so exacerbated the comparison. And look at what they're doing, and everybody's life is highlighted reels and looks amazing and perfect. And wow, they don't have any problems, and their businesses certainly don't have any problems, and their life has no problems. But we all have a need to feel connected to something and other people and to belong. And it's important to find our people, and just to even know that the person next to you needs to feel connected too, and your neighbor and the stranger. And we actually it actually connects us, this need to feel connected. And when I know I'm off, when I'm struggling or I'm off, it's usually because I'm feeling alone. And I think going back to that feeling of what you said in the beginning is like, what if we slow down? It's usually a feeling of, if I slow down, I'm going to feel like I'm alone. I'm the only one that can do this. No one's here to rescue me or help me. It's because so often we think we're the only ones who can do this, and we haven't even asked for help. We're not even slowing down long enough to ask for help. We have this feeling of, am I is anyone around me to ask for support? If we pause, there's probably a lot of people around that want to help us. But so this feeling of belonging and being connected is a oneness. It's a oneness that brings us together. And the fear of being outcasted or not connected is a deep, deep rooted fear that drives it puts us into overdrive quite a bit. So even just knowing that, when I go into overdrive, it's typically because I feel alone, and it's like, hold on here. I need to like ask for some help, or I'm feeling alone. And now I got a little red flag in my head going, why do you feel so alone? Like, slow the heck down. Why do you got the alone button going on, Christina?
Yeah, and some of us may not feel alone. Well, you know what? we may
And I
not
got
feel
plenty of
like.
people around me, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
got plenty of people around me, but
Oh, you can feel alone. In fact, I feel more alone in a crowd than when I'm alone.
yeah.
It's like I feel different and, uh, not alienated, but maybe my opinion doesn't matter. Maybe nobody wants to talk to, all these weird thoughts that go through my head. And it's like, no, it's like, okay. But yeah, I feel more alone in a crowd than at home by myself.
Yeah. 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 And, and I think when we pause for a moment, we realize how much in common we do have with one another. And that's a really good feeling. That's a really good feeling.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
how does all this help us to slow down and stay that successful, amazing person we are? Because I think my deeds are what makes me look good to everybody. And maybe I don't need to look good to everybody.
No. Well, I think all of this to me takes us back to the fact that when we pause, we're able to look inside of ourselves and to see all the deeds we have within us, which is that we're already enough. And to honor the wisdom and the lessons we've learned and the virtues and the beautiful things within us that have nothing to do with achievements or accolades or awards or what we've done. The mere fact that we exist and we are unique and what are our gifts, they don't have to be that we, sing or dance or have these like showy things to offer. We're a human and we have kindness and we have, who we are and the ability to connect with another human is a gift and we do it in our own unique imprinted way. So when you pause, you can listen to your inner voice and your inner wisdom and honor those things about you. When you're outside of you, you cannot do that. And I think an important part of going within also is to listen to your inner voice, your inner guidance, your intuition. And that can guide you so clearly on choices to make and remind you how incredibly powerful and empowered you are. You do know what to do. So many people I work with, and even myself, will say, I need a book, I need a podcast, I need something to tell me what to do next, or a strategy, a method. And it's great to have those reminders, but we often know inside, we just don't trust ourselves. We don't trust that voice. And so the more you tune in every day to yourself, you start to trust yourself more and more. And then you become more empowered. I trust myself. Yes, I love to hear something that reminds me of how powerful I am. So I listen to your show and other shows like, okay, I am powerful. I can listen to myself. These are great tools to enforce that. But we are magical and powerful inside. So quiet, get quiet, take a deep breath, take a walk, listen to yourself because you have wisdom within. And that's enough. When you can repattern things that keep you busy and frenzied, you can just go within and you're unstoppable then.
And all this, that busy and slow down and stuff is making me think about imagining the most perfect car you ever wanted, and you're at the lot and you just spent $100,000 on this beautiful, amazing, sexy, fast, or strong car that can climb lots of mountains and take you wherever you want to go. That's you. That's you. Now drive it home, put it in the garage, use it and use it and use it as much as you want, and you've got this sexy, beautiful car. If you don't stop and go to the gas station, you're not going anywhere. If you don't stop and get your oil changes and your tires rotation, you're not lasting very long. You
Yeah.
can't just be perfect without stepping back and taking the time to feed yourself, to slow
Yeah.
down and to give yourself the ability to drive fast.
You have to recharge it.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. You can be electric one too. It doesn't have to have a
You
gas
have to
engine.
recharge it. You have to take a
Yes.
breath. Yeah. And you asked me how do we change these, like, what are these programs, these patterns that we see that make us busy or take us away from like that inner voice. And, it doesn't mean we had bad things happen. These are just life, like programs that are out in the universe that, in life that tell us busy's better, right? Again, back to how we speak to ourselves or taking pauses. I want people to know and just to be reminded we can change the pattern. So, your car analogy, when you recharge, you are more or less changing the patterns. You're saying, I'm important. I'm worthy of being recharged. So you're telling your subconscious mind and your mind, oh, you're important. You're going to take a second here to recharge and take a second. And well, that's pretty cool. You're someone that's worthy of being rechargeable and you're going to take a minute. Well, that's pretty great. So you must be pretty important. Your body listens to these things. So your immune system gets boosted. Your all everything within your body listens to everything that you're saying and you're doing. So this is really big when you tell yourself and your body, I am worthy, I am enough to pause and regroup. Not to mention the things you're telling the rest of your family by doing those things.
Oh, story I've told before, but I had a young gentleman that I was working with, and he was talking about his mother. She was one of these crazy busy women like we have been. And she said he was just snappy. She was a beautiful mom. She was great. She always had good intention. She'd come home from the work and she still felt stressed and rugged and just snappy, not mean, just not relaxed.
Right.
And she started coming home and playing the piano for 15 minutes before she did anything else.
Mm.
And just like, guys, just leave me alone. I'm just going to do this. This is my happy spot. And he said within a week, there was no more snappy mom. There was no more go hide in your room because
Love
mom's
that.
home. No, she took that moment of charging time before she turned around and did the nightly routine with all her family. And she changed from snappy to fun. And
Yeah.
like,
Happy.
yeah. And how can I find that? I think I know how to fill up or charge a car or a cell phone or all these analogies. I know how to put my mask on first, but sometimes I don't know what I need to recharge. Oh, they say get out 8 hours of sleep. Well, I'm sorry, 8 hours or 5 hours or 30 hours of sleep. That in itself doesn't recharge me, might somebody else. I've got to do other things.
Yeah.
Well, how do we find that thing
That
that is going to recharge me? Because I may be a diesel engine and you may be an electric engine
yeah.
and somebody else may be a gas engine. We all charge differently.
Yeah, I think that's such a good question because it's a question I get asked a lot. Like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I want to do. Will you help me figure that out? And isn't that interesting when I ask clients to even say, when I say, take yourself out for 30 minutes a week, they'll say, ask me to do anything else. I don't know what to do. Don't ask me that. As if I'm asking them to, climb a mountain or something. Don't ask me to go have fun for 30 minutes a week. Like it's the hardest thing. But, you know, getting in touch with our feelings is the first thing. So, because when you get out of your mind and you get in tune with your heart, this is not what we want to do. We want to think about it. So this isn't a thinking exercise. This is a feel exercise. This isn't write down a bunch of things that you like to do and pick the top three. So the first thing I would say is to give you this easy journal prompt, which is I, and then you can say Christina or I, Laura, Jane, feel and start writing what you feel to just start identifying what you feel. And you might at first write, I feel annoyed and frustrated that somebody didn't take out the trash. Just start writing what you feel. But you'll eventually start to write maybe you're getting in touch with your feelings, you're getting out of your head, is what I want you to do at first. And you'll start writing some things that you enjoy doing. And again, it's a little bit of exercise to get from our head to our heart. And from there, very quickly, you'll start saying, well, I forgot I liked music. I forgot I liked I love taking my dog to that one dog park I forgot about, or I really love the beach and I live 5 minutes and I forgot that little walk, or I love this or that. It doesn't have to be a big thing. So just picking the things that bring us joy or that are, fun to do. It could be, I think that's also the big thing is when we are good at a lot of things, we start to think, I have to do my PX90 exercise 5 days a week for 45 minutes. And if I only did it four, then that means I'm a failure and I suck at it. You know, don't do that to yourself. I'm going to do something that I enjoy twice a week for 10 minutes and celebrate it. Again, you get more of what you feel. Hello, announcement. So if you do it for 10 minutes twice a week, say, I did something I love. Yay. This feels good. And then guess what? You're going to want to do it 3 times a week. You're going to want to do it 4 times a week. Start with once a week. I bet you it's more than what you're doing now. And you'll start to want to do it more and more. So to get out of your head and into your heart, Susie, feel, start writing what you feel. And again, it might be a little venting at first, but then you're going to start finding some fun things that you like to do.
I love that. And what a great way to slow down is, really just have that writing exercise. And I know some people are going to roll their eyes and go,
They are. They
that's
are.
less journaling. Like I talked to someone earlier today that's like,
Hate
I
it at
journaled
first.
for the first time last night. And I go, how'd it go?
Yeah, they hate it at first, but I have doctors, I have lawyers, I have stay-at-home moms that will do it, and honestly, more growth and movement comes, whether it be in their business or their life or whatever metric we're trying to move in, with just that exercise, honestly.
And it's slowing down because you can't keep going a million miles an hour and go, I feel.
It gets it out of our head. Because we want the solution to be in our thinking head, in our mind, and it's not. It's in our heart. It's in we have to feel it. And we are programmed not to feel and to think that's a big inconvenience. And I don't want to feel. I just want an answer. I want a strategy. I want a tool. And tools are great, but if you're not feeling it, I can't tell you what brings you joy. What do you want me to do? List 5 things that bring you joy? That's ridiculous. I don't know what brings you joy. You gotta feel it.
Yeah. I call some of those years of my life my robot years, where I turned off all the feelings. All I was a doer. I
Yeah.
charged with the electric and nothing else. I just plug in at night, go back to work next day, turn off everything else because you will evaporate if you let all that in. And it's like, it's a very unhealthy disconnect to turn into a doer.
It
And it's
is.
time
It
to
is.
be.
It is to be, and it makes people squirm. It makes me squirm sometimes too, to be frank.
When I first retired, my husband would say, "Hey, you don't have to work so hard because I just busy all day. You can just, enjoy your time off, enjoy some time." And I'm like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
I'm not doing something, I'm useless. But yeah, it's like I'm, it doesn't, you might be useless to the person over there, but you're perfectly what you need right now. Relax. And I can't, I can tell you, but until you experience it, you won't feel it.
Right. You're right. You can't. You won't feel it. And, even putting your hands on your heart kinda makes you move from your head to your heart, because it just sort of reminds you, "Wait a second. I'm trying to strategize. I'm trying to figure it out, and I have to drop into feeling it." And that's again back to that answer within us. It comes pretty quickly when we do that. We know. We might not like what it's telling us to do, but we very quickly can move into a solution that way and into freedom. Freedom to be who we are.
And when you allow yourself to be who you are, you start allowing everybody else to be who they are. It's funny, the expectations that we have, they teach us how to be a baby, a child. They teach us how to be a teenager. They teach us how to be a parent, kind of. You have
Yeah.
all these expectations, but they really don't teach us how to just be, how to just love life. You go through school, you learn all these things, and all of a
Well,
sudden you're an adult and you're like, I didn't know how to do this
you're right. That's such a good way to say it. You're right. They don't teach us to be
or how to
free
figure it out.
us, how to
Yeah.
think and feel and just genuinely honor who we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they program us and everything else, and we think that's what's important. But then when we can let loose of that programming, wow, I am me. And
Right.
all of a sudden, you have that personal self confidence, which is really odd. If you've been an insecure person all your life, which I was, I never could be good enough at anything, to all of a sudden, like, I'm okay. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Like, I don't need to meet your expectation of a perfect person. I just need to meet my expectations. And people are like, what would, if you could get rid of one thing in this world, what would it be? I say expectations. Some
Yes.
people say hate. Some people, it's like, it's that frustration when someone doesn't meet up to what you think. And I've told this story a million times, but I'll tell it again. My husband used to take up the garbage. I would get frustrated because he'd never put a garbage bag back in. For 30 years, I was pissy and angry and mad because I'd go to put garbage in and there's no garbage sack. That was an expectation. Whoever said it was his job? I never assigned it to him.
Oh,
I never told anybody. It was an expectation I had in my head. And when I decided, like, you know what? I've never asked him to take the garbage out. I've never had to say he just does it. Why am I being a bitch
yeah.
about a stupid garbage sack? From now on, it's my job.
You just changed the whole, like, you did a paradigm shift
Yeah.
on all of it.
Yeah. No one told me. Why am I thinking it's his job?
Yeah.
It's my job. And now we laugh about it when he goes in and there's no garbage sack. He's like, hey, you didn't do
You
your
do your
job.
job.
And we both laugh. And it's funny. But when you can find that thing and switch it, it's
And
all
that
of a
could be
sudden
about, like,
okay.
anything. Think about it.
Yes.
That thing that
Yes.
we think we're terrible at, or, I'm no good at that, or I don't feel good enough. Like, who said that? We say that about ourselves. We make it that we're not good enough.
It might have been a teacher or a class you
Yes.
failed or something. You might have heard it one time, but who replayed it for the next however many years old you are? Like, has it been going, I know I'm an awful speller. Guess what? I don't care anymore because I have spell check. I have chat GBT. I have all this other stuff to help me.
You know?
And it's like, I don't care if I can spell good or not, but I got in trouble for it a lot.
Exactly. Yes. It's like you get to redefine it. You get to upgrade the belief to the truth.
Yeah, and then you're not fretting. All of a sudden, you're just relaxed and you're able to pause and, like, "That's okay.
Right.
It'll fix itself later."
And all these things play in our head until we have that moment to say, "Well, is that even true?
Mhm.
That is that even true?" Yeah.
That's crazy. Slowing down with the pause, and the pause can be 1 minute or 15 minutes at the piano or 15 minutes listening to your favorite song in the car before you step in the house, or 15 minutes of meditation or 2, or you went to the restroom and you needed a little bit of a break and you did a quick meditation while you're on the pot. Stack those things. You can do it all
Yeah.
and rest.
Yeah, I mean, our breath is we carry that with us everywhere. Taking a few breaths before you walk into the restaurant to meet the group of friends that are gonna talk your ear off, and I need to take a breath before I go in and see that friend, or, it's always
Yeah.
with us. We got that with us. It's a tool. It's a great.
Oh, and I love the cleansing breath. It's like just gets me out of my head. Just that deep,
Yep.
okay. I
It
love that. I love breath work. And, you can roll your eyes and go, we breathe all the time. It's the conscious breath. It's that when I take control of it and put meaning to it. I love to suck up the energy from the earth and expel the stuff I don't need anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And then pull in the energy from the sun and expel the stuff down into the earth. And I just do that process up and down a few times when I'm really stressed. And it's like, oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
nobody even has to know. It's you doing it in your head, in the grocery store line, in the middle of the meeting. You can do it anywhere. But it's just that visualization of pulling in new energy and expelling the old.
Oh, yeah. I have a really big, crazy family, and even before they come over, I'll put, like, a bubble around me and of energy. I'm like, "I'm protected. It's all good." They're not I love them all, but the energy will kinda make me feel a little frazzled. I'm like, I got a little bubble around me, and I've taught this to many clients who say, "Gosh, when I go to work or I go here or there, I feel like, I feel this or I feel that." Put a little bubble around you. Take a little pause, put a bubble around you, walk in. Oh, the bubble works great. Takes 2 seconds.
Oh, it does. I bubble my car. I bubble all sorts
Yeah,
of things. It's like
yeah.
it's a safety bubble in my car. It's a energy bubble other places. But
Airplane.
it's so it's like that insulated cup that stays cool all day or warm all day. You can have a regular old cup if you want. It's going to change temperature really fast. Just put that insulation around you. If water can do it, so can I.
Yeah, yeah. Bring it on, grandma. We're good.
Christina, this has been a lot of fun. And I really, that pause, that moment, whether it's a 1 second or 30 minutes or whatever you can take, what a beautiful message to share. Would you please share with our friend how to get a hold of you, what you do, and what's the one thing we could do this week to add a pause to our life?
Sure. So I can be reached at my website, which is ChristinaLWoods.com. And Instagram is a good one as well, same thing. And I'm a hypnotherapist and an energy healer and an empowerment coach. And so I work with women in their 40s and 50s, executives. And what I do is help them get unstuck and just become unstoppable in life. And that one question, repeat that for me, please.
Oh, what's that one thing?
Oh,
What am I going to try this week that can help me add a pause to my life?
I think the one thing is just really think of that moment where you can take a moment and say, what is that deep intuition within myself where I can just breathe and find a moment to listen to the voice within and taking a pause and listening to that inner voice. And also, just gonna add thinking of a moment when you felt really grounded and centered. We've all had a moment. So just this week, say, when in the last few days did I feel really safe and grounded and calm? I'm just thinking of a moment. I just sat in my backyard and I had my little lunch outside in my backyard in between meetings. I felt really calm. The sun was warm. That felt really good. I'm gonna let that right now come over me, pause, and I'm gonna take that feeling and I'm gonna let that feeling go with me forward for the rest of my day today, the rest of my week. I'm gonna let that little seed be planted. So just think of a moment and then I'm gonna let that grounded feeling use that exercise.
I love it. I love it because how beautiful is that pause? Lunch on the porch? Wow. I've
Yeah.
done it a few times, head outside and just enjoy nature, but I don't do it as often as I could.
Yeah. So any moment, let that little moment be a little seed that you can plant into your week.
Thank you so much, Christina. It's really been my pleasure. I have really had fun. Friend Christina and I are not here for your medical or mental advice. We are here for entertainment. People that have been down a path and struggled a little bit and would do whatever we can to help you see your path clearly and help you along your journey. Thank you for joining and stay tuned for the next episode.
Are you tired of waking up exhausted? You are not alone. If you're looking to take your life back, let's start with the simple step of adjusting your self-talk. Stay tuned for the next episode with your host, Lara Jane. Remember to follow the show so you don't miss the next simple step that you can use to feel more confident And please leave an honest review.